1. Hi everybody. This is Sam. G'day. Sam's an expert on Australian history and he's going to share everything that he knows with you. Everything? No. Well, maybe not everything, but enough to talk about Captain Cook and tell us how we got to have the 26th of January as Australia Day. Okay. Now, last time you weren't talking loud enough, so do it a bit louder today. Okay. That wasn't any better. Louder. Okay. How's that? That's a lot better. Okay. Now, what I want you to tell me is why we have all these things happening. Well, King George III sent Captain Cook on a tour around the world to find a new land. And did he find a new land? Yeah, he did. One or two. Okay, well, I suppose he was sailing around and he came to this area down here in the south and he saw a new land and he said, that'll be Australia. No, why not? Well, in the first place, he didn't even know it was there. He didn't know it was there. You mean nobody had seen it ever before? That's right. I think you're wrong. Oh, why? Well, you know as well as I do that the Dutch had been here before that, don't you? Yeah, I know that. And they called it New Holland. They called it New Holland. So why didn't they call it Australia? Because they didn't own it. And why didn't they own it? Because they hadn't landed on it. And why didn't they land on it? I don't know. Maybe they were just too hungry or need to go home or something. Okay, well, I believe that they didn't claim the land, so they couldn't name it or anything. So it was just left there for some time. And Captain Cook came around, and as he was coming along, he looked over the horizon and he saw a new land, and that was Australia. No way. No way. Well, look, he was looking for a new land. Why didn't it be Australia? Well, he called it New Zealand. What? Are you telling me that Captain Cook discovered New Zealand? Sure am. Well, that's amazing. Can you tell me some more about Captain Cook? Yeah, he was a navigator. A navigator, that means he's a person that can travel around the world in his ship and he always knows where he is. Yeah, that's right. And anything else about him? Yeah, he was an astronomer. An astronomer. Astronomers are people who gaze at the stars through telescopes and they draw maps of all the stars and the galaxies and all those things. Is that right? Yeah. Well, if Captain Cook was an astronomer, he was pretty clever. He sure was. And what else did he do? Well, he called it New Zealand and then he kept on going and came to another new land. And this one was Australia. No, not again, it wasn't called that. Well, okay, tell me more, elaborate. Okay, he called into a little port in the middle of the country, a little port, somewhere in the middle, yeah. We call it Botany Bay now. Botany Bay. Oh, okay, I know something about this. He landed there because he had someone on board, someone special. Yeah, a scientist who was actually a botanist. And his name was Sir Joseph Banks. Sir Joseph Banks, of course he was. And what did they do? Collected specimens. Yeah, I know. They collected specimens of insects and animals and plants and all those things that they'd never seen before. Yeah. And what did they do with them? Sent them back to England. Oh, yeah, they did. They sent them back to England and they're now in a museum in London, aren't they? Yeah, sure is the case. Okay, well, and that's the case. If that's the case, when did he land there? Sunday, 29th of April, 1977. I don't think it was 1977, Sam. Oh, I'll try again? Yeah, try again. Okay, 1770. 1770, that sounds more like it. So he landed there and it was 1770. So that's when this country became Australia. No way. Well, why not? He didn't land there. He just said he landed to collect specimens. Yeah, not with any people or anything. Oh, okay, so what did he do next? Well, he sailed off the coast towards the Cape York. That would mean he was going right up to the very top of Australia. So did he get to Cape York in one piece and no problems? No, he crashed on the Great Barrier Reef. Oh my goodness, he crashed a wooden sailing ship on the Great Barrier Reef. Did it sink? No, it didn't sink. Well, what happened? He spent a lot of time getting it fixed up and getting it off the reef. And I guess by doing that, what he had to do was remove all the heavy weights like cannons and things off the ship. And what did he do then? He moved everything over to the land. Yeah, moved everything over to the land, and then on a high tide, everything floated off. Oh yeah, it was a lot of work. Okay, so it didn't sink. So did they have to fix it? Yeah, a lot of repair work went on and took a lot of time. I imagine it did take a lot of time. Anyway, everything was okay and he kept on going, did he? Yeah, he went off the coast and got to the very top of Australia. But it wasn't called Australia then, was it? No. What he did do was he got up there and he said, I know all this east coast of Australia, New South Wales. Something wrong there, Sam, because the whole east coast of Australia is not New South Wales, it's only the state in the middle. So what happened to Queensland and Victoria? Well, they didn't exist then. It was all New South Wales from all the way down. Well, so something must have happened later, did it? Yeah, that's right. Okay. Well, when he got up there and created, or called everything New South Wales, what was the next thing? Well, he went on to an island called Possession Island. I've heard of Possession Island. I don't know why they called it that, but could you tell me? Yeah. He climbed out onto the summit of the island with the English flag, and he stuck the flag in the ground and said, I claim this land in the name of England for King George III. So what he was actually doing there was taking possession of the land. Okay, so yeah, you got it right. Okay, so if he was doing that, that was the day that it became Australia, and that should have been Australia Day. No, got it wrong again. Okay, could you enlighten me what happened? Because January the 26th is Australia Day, and that wasn't January the 26th. No, it wasn't. Well, when did it become Australia Day? It took another 18 years before that happened. 18 years from 1770, that would have been 1788. Yeah, that's right. And what happened in 1788? Well, another guy, Captain Arthur Phillip, oh yes, what did he do? He came here with 11 British ships. 11 British ships? You mean they had 11 ships? He only needed one. No, because he had a lot of bad guys with him. A lot of bad guys? What do you mean by bad guys? Oh, they were convicts, and they were coming here as punishment. Coming here as punishment. Goodness gracious. And when did this actually happen? Well, let me tell you what happened first. They landed, and they had picks and shovels, and they became farmers. They had picks and shovels, and they became farmers. And I suppose you're going to say that they became farmers because they had nothing to eat very much, and they had to grow their own food. Is that right? Sure is right. Okay, and what was the date that this happened? Pardon me. When did the ship arrive? 26th of January 1788. And 26th of January is now called Australia Day. You finally got the right answer, right? Okay. All right. Well, that's a good story. So what I think I'd like you to do now is teach me the second verse of Advance Australia Fair. Oh, come on, you did that. I did what? You put it on Facebook this morning. Yeah, I knew that I did. It's on Facebook this morning, 2 verses. I was just seeing if you knew. I was testing you. Okay. All right, well, it's time to go. I know. Anything else you want to know? Yeah, there is something else I'd like to know. I would like to know why Victoria and Queensland broke away from New South Wales and became separate states. Oh, well, I'm not going to tell you that now because it's getting late. But if you want to know, I'll do it the next session we have and I'll teach it to you. Oh, that would be pretty nice. You're going to do that? Yep. Yeah. Okay. All right, well, say good night to the people. Good night, everybody.